What's up, everybody? It's Jesus here with the Van Bros. Today we're going to be doing a short video. I want to ask you guys. I want to ask my subs and people who happen to watch my videos. How would you guys feel if Bushiroad chose to catch up to Japanese releases, kind of do a global release for everything, similar to One Piece, Pokemon, Power World, and I'm pretty sure White Shorts is gonna get to that point, or Hollow. One of the White Shorts clones is already doing it, and Digimon, the first one, can't forget them. It got me thinking, man, is Bushiroad just waiting for Konami, of all companies, to announce a global release? Or are they working on something starting with the new anime era coming out for Vanguard? So as we all know, after DZ15, which is the Ren icon set, we're gonna get a brand new anime with I think they're gonna start off with a new set number. So 15, it might be the last, and but it's still standard. It's still gonna be the card pool from D. And I was thinking, we're at a point where if we look at the next two sets coming out, this doesn't look good, considering that there's a 2-month and 25-day gap between set 13 Japanese and set 13 English. They kind of fixed it a little bit with set 14, because that one's only 2 months and 16 days, so the gap's getting shorter. And yeah, I'm aware that we're wasting the month of April for a starter product for 2 decks of the same unit in different nations. But when I see stuff like this, I'm not very happy, because I've been playtesting these decks for quite a bit of time. Since they've been revealed, I started making proxies on a lot of these decks. I'm already building or making proxies on decks from set 14, and I'm not bored of them. If anything, I'm glad I did it, because now I realize, okay, these are some decks that I really want to play. But what kind of sucks is the fact that, like, everybody knows how good these cards are. Everybody knows what the meta is. Everybody knows that there's, Blankmeyer is great. Barukria is great now. Xerath is alright, it's doing stuff. Gabuelius needs a lot of work. Fucking the Mythish cards are all hit or miss. Except for the Varga one, which is good, but now had no screen time in this season. It makes me think that I don't know, it's poorly thought out. The company that during its peak, where people think, people are saying, Break Ride was his peak. The anime for Break Ride, Link Joker, the main thing that Aichi was going to school for, the subject that they were doing, was globalization. It was looking at the world and how to, perfect, global, like, economies and markets. Like, that's where we get the famous scene where they're all, like, doing that camp scene. And they ask Aichi, hey, can you read this map? No, I don't speak English. In the dub, they kept it. But, I don't know, I see stuff like this, and I think, how do we get out of this slump? Could, maybe in July, they try to speed up the sets released, or they try to shorten the gap a bit more, instead of it being practically 3 months. Maybe they shorten it down to 2 months or a month and a half, or they could well, they could have done a combined set. I feel like set 13 and set 14 were the perfect opportunity Bushiroad had to combine two sets and release them bit by bit. Similar to how Digimon did it and Shadowverse had done. Maybe not to the extent of Shadowverse. I think they had quite a bit of like repackaged combined sets, but this would have been a pretty good opportunity because you could have had the Phantoms versus like Mythish Fighters. There's some issues with that, and we'll get to those points. But you could have done, they could have done something. I say you, like, you know, the viewer, but no, not the viewer. We're the victims of this, this tragedy here. But no, Bushiroad definitely can fix up quite a bit of things. One of the big problems with that idea, though, I hate to bring up a solution and shoot it down immediately, is the fact that there's so many fucking Phantom units that you couldn't put them all in one set. Like, you'd have to rearrange the way that sets work out, especially because you have two units like double dipping. You have what, two Brandgate, two Dragon Empire, and then the rest are just kind of there. You could give or allocate more triple rares to these nations, but like, I feel like that's a bit too much work, especially for global Bushiroad. They do care, but they are also very limited. I don't know. I really do hope that we eventually get to global release for this game, because like it feels like, you know, of all card games, Vanguard would have been the one to kind of get that going, and we had a global release before. It was, I think, Record of Ragnarok. We had a global release, and back in G, we were 2 weeks off from like sets being released. So I don't fucking know why. I mean, obviously the big C is out there, and the big T, but like, I don't know. It just feels like there's not so much planning. Not like at the beginning of D where we would get producer letters. We have an English producer and he doesn't say much. I would like to see them maybe be a bit more transparent. And obviously their hands are tied. They can't really do much outside of like, what's it called? Japanese, like Bushiroad, like giving them permission. But I feel like a little message here or there saying, hey guys, we're aware of this, or hey guys, like we're working on some stuff for you guys. Like, I don't know, I feel like that goes a long way. But yeah, I think what I want to ask you guys, the viewers, is how would you go about global releases for Vanguard? I think the perfect opportunity was kind of passed to end off Divinez with a bang and having global release ready for the new era, but there's still time. Maybe the new era of Vanguard will have a global release. We have no idea what the new anime is about, the new units, if there's a new mechanic, if there's a new resource. We have no idea. And it's exciting because I will also say, regardless of the faults that this game has, that is in a very exciting point. I'm very excited for the Icon Fighters. Regardless of them being nostalgia slop, I think we can all agree that these decks are cool. The Aichi and the Kagura and the fucking Kai decks are really, really strong. And for starter product, it's insane. They could be better at reprinting certain, orders for the, for Keter and, other nations. They do need their reprints, and I think they need to be better at reprinting modern cards as well as older cards if they're going to be unbanning them for a certain format. But yeah, I want to know, what do you guys think about global release? I don't think there's many faults with it, especially because, like, we have a lot of speculative markets out there, especially in Japan. There's so many crazy techs that come out, but I feel like it's exciting. It's fun to sort of, like, theory craft with another region, and we kind of lost that with D. Now we know the best and optimal ways to play these decks. There's very few times that a deck is figured out that's months after the initial release of that card. So yeah, let me know, guys. What do you guys think? Would you guys like global release? How would you go about it? And here's another one. Another question. Which of these Phantom units is your favorite? And which one would you have rather gotten a Phantom unit out of all of these? Alrighty. Bye, guys. Have a great rest of your day, week, month, year, or life.